Welcome, true believers, to Badwolf Comics. I'm your host, the Bad Wolf, and today we're going to do custom dust jackets for the Mutant Massacre, Fall of the Mutants, and Inferno series. Stick around, folks. It should be fun. Welcome back, true believers, to another Bad Wolf Comics custom dust jacket episode. Today we're going to take a look at Mutant Massacre, Fall of the Mutants, and Inferno events. The reason we're doing so many this time is because this time last year I started doing, at the end of the videos, I started doing a creation process of the custom dust jacket, which extended the video's time. The Inferno, I don't have any of that because it was before that. These dust jackets don't even have my Bad Wolf Comics logo. So we definitely wanted to make sure that we got those featured in a video. So I'm just going to kind of tack it onto this one. I do have footage for all the creation process for Mutant Massacre and Fall of the Mutants. So kind of like when I do a haul, I'm just going to stack books. We're going to start pulling them out. I will put the originals here and the new custom dust jackets here, and we'll just start pulling side by side. Don't go away, folks. Alright, we got everything stacked up. Let's go ahead and start with the first one. Let's pull right off the top here with the Mutant Massacre Prelude. Now, the biggest problem with this is it's white. I don't like white spines, white covers. The covers I can actually kind of deal with because they're, you know, when they're facing outward of the shelf, you really don't see a whole lot. But the spine cannot be white. It sticks out like a sore thumb. I prefer a black background. They did get it right here because I do prefer collected covers in the back. So we were able to keep that. Now with this particular book, I went through all the covers. I'm a big fan of group covers, so I do like to see as much of the group on the cover as possible. But for this, it was really about changing the spine and the color in general. So with this one, we actually did end up keeping the same cover. Marvel actually did a good job at selecting covers on this one because I went through all of them. I just couldn't find anything I liked. I do try when I'm doing custom dust jackets to change the cover because if I'm going to go through the process of spending the money on material for ink and paper and all that, then I do like to have something different. But in this particular case, I just couldn't find anything that popped to me and said, this is the cover. So we did end up defaulting on the original cover. We did change the logo colors so it would match the original Mutant Massacre. And we did change the spine. So the spine looks good now. And these actually do line up pretty well. So I didn't really have any issues there. And this is pretty much just changing the colors on this one. But that is a Mutant Massacre Prelude. Let's move on. All right, next we have the Mutant Massacre. And I gotta say, Marvel didn't do a bad job choosing this dust jacket. I really like the cover. It's a classic cover, and it's really recognizable, but I had to change it. We did find something that, in my opinion, is personally a lot better. But we did have to fix the spine because the logo sits just a little bit low as comparison to the rest of the stuff, and I want it to line up. So we went ahead and changed that. And we've got the collected covers, so that's another plus for Marvel's side. So with this book, they didn't do an actual horrible job on this. So what we did with this one is we got a recolor for one of the other covers, and it looks phenomenal, folks. I really like this cover. It's a great shot of Sabretooth and Wolverine, and the recolor really makes the colors stand out and pop. We went ahead and changed up the spine, and what we did is we took the original cover and put that down here on the spine pick, and then we raised the logo a bit so it'll actually be uniform with the rest. And the colors now are uniform with the Mutant Massacre Prelude, so everything looks great. But the back is pretty much the exact same. The only difference here is we do have the Bad Wolf Comics logo on the Mutant Massacre. But yeah, this is a great cover choice, and I think Roy did a great job with it. Mutant Massacre. Let's move on. All right, and now we have Fall of the Mutants. Again, another iconic and great cover. Don't have a problem with it per se, but I did want to change things up and get something a little different on there. We also have to change the spine because this is not cool. I don't know what Marvel was thinking with changing that up because that's like the most basic thing on a Marvel dust jacket. So I'm glad they stopped doing this. At least as far as I can tell, they stopped doing this. We also need collected covers in the back because I'm a huge fan of that. I prefer that over this. It's not that this is bad. I just prefer collected covers so I can see everything that's out there. When I was first introduced to X-Men, Follow the Mutants was just coming out. So this is one of the first stories I was actually exposed to for X-Men, and it kind of hooked me. But for Follow the Mutants, we went for this cover. It's an X-Factor cover, but I really like this cover. There was a couple other covers to choose from, but this one just stood out to me as the one that I wanted for the book. So we went that route. And we also fixed the spine so that everything lines up with the X-Men logo. And we also got collected covers in the back. So this one kind of got an all-around fix on it. Looks really good. I think it's a big improvement. Once again, we use the cover photo for the spine photo. I try and do that with a lot of my books. What you'll notice that is that we'll take the original cover and throw it on the spine and then make something else. That way we can kind of go back to what we changed. And that is Follow the Mutants. Moving on to Inferno. Kind of blowing through this video pretty quickly, folks. Now this is the Inferno prologue. The Inferno are some of the earliest books that I did. These don't even have my logo on the back, but this is the original. Here's our spine, and here's our cover. Again, I don't like the spine. They need to fix that. We need to fix the collected covers. And this is another one that after going through all the covers, I just couldn't find a better one. It had a lot of New Mutants books and a bunch of extra stuff other than X-Men, so I only had a few X-Men books to choose from. But this is the cover we landed on. And we fixed the spine so it matches everything else. And then I went ahead and got collected covers in the back like we like. But yeah, this one didn't even have a Badwolf Comics logo on it. Back when I started, we were only doing Badwolf Comics logos for sets, and this just wasn't a set. So that is Inferno Prologue. All right, folks, last one. Dust Jacket videos don't actually go too long because there's not a lot to say. I just kind of show you what I got. So last but not least, Inferno. Worst dust jacket ever. I hate this picture. When this came out, though, I slept on it a little bit too long, and this is the only cover that was left. And we definitely had to fix that, because I hate that cover. I don't know why, I just don't like it. It's ugly. And then here, we actually have the spine, which isn't too terribly bad. And the back actually has collected covers on this one, which is nice, so we didn't have to do too much on that. But I feel like I really found the best cover, in my opinion. Much better cover, much more dark, much more ominous. I really like it, and I just think it's a huge improvement over the original. The spine, once again, lines up with the other books now. Here's Inferno Prologue. Looks better on the shelf, and I just like it. And on the back, we did get collected covers. Once again, I don't have the my Badwolf Comics logo on here. For this one, we did not use the original pic because, as I said, I hate this cover. You probably can't see it, but I did use a different picture on that. And that's it. As I said before, I don't have footage for all the books because some of these older ones, I didn't start doing creation process videos until way later, so I don't even have any footage for some of this stuff. But for the Mutant Massacre, and I think Follow the Mutants, I do have some footage, so we're going to go ahead and show you the creation process of those dust jackets, and then we'll get our final shot. Don't go away, folks. Mutant Massacre Prelude. Let's wrap it. X-Men Follow the Mutants. Let's wrap it. Today we're going to wrap the Mutant Massacre Prelude. This massive tome. The last time I did this, we didn't know until I came to wrap it that my measurements were off that I sent to Roy, and it was about a centimeter or two too short. However, Roy's awesome. I sent him a message, and he gave me a size correction and sent this right out. So we'll just use our DJ as our measuring tool. Janky at the end there, but as always, you want to set it in the top here. You're going to want to go left to right and make sure it's centered. Make sure there's a little bit sticking out on each side. You really want to make sure it gets pushed up all the way, otherwise you're going to have space at top, and you will notice on the shelf. Come up and fold from the bottom. I think that fell down a little bit. I'm going to reseat just to be safe. Fold from the bottom. And then, as usual, we grab the book, get our spine line, kind of stick it in the center as you can, and then just pick it up and make sure you've got it centered. And there we'll fold on our flap line here. That's the best guide for me, is the flap line, because that's when you know if you got it right on the money there, then the rest of it should wrap just fine. Perfect. Alright, it is wrapped, it is protected, and it's going to look awesome on the shelf. Next, we're going to fold Bro Darts over Mutant Massacre custom dust jacket here. And use the dust jacket as a measuring tool. Alright, so once again we want to left to right, make sure it's in the center, and then seat it as high as it'll go. Once we do that, fold it from the bottom up. And then we use the book to find our spine line. Match it up as best you can. And we fold on the flap line. There we go. Mutant Massacre, custom dust jacket, and fully covered. Alright, next we're going to wrap X-Men Follow the Mutants, custom dust jacket. Pull our Bro Dart out here. Just over, and get this here in the sleeve. And you want to get it centered left to right, and then seated as high as it'll go. Once you get it all the way in there, go ahead and fold on the bottom. And then we'll use the book for find our spine line. You want to fold right here on the line of the cover and flap. Same on the back. There we are. Follow the mutants. Covered and protected. With our final shot, that's it for our custom dust jackets for the Mutant Massacre, Follow the Mutants, and Inferno. Let me know what you think in the comments, folks. Do you prefer the originals? Do you like the new designs? Is there a different cover you would have chosen? Let me know in the comments, folks. I want to hear about it. And as always, I get most of my books from Panelbound Comics. For those of you that shop at Panelbound Comics, don't forget to use the code BADWOLF during checkout for $2 off your order. And if you just can't get enough and you need a great place to talk comics, come see me at the Badwolf Comics Facebook group. I can also be found lurking in the pages of the Omnibuds Cafe. It's a great place to talk to like-minded folks about collected editions. They've also got a great buy and sell section there where I found many books that I wouldn't normally purchase because eBay's just got skyrocketed prices. So you'll find some great folks with great conversation, man. So check them out. I promise you won't be sorry. But stick around, true believers. Badwolf Comics has more in store for the month of October. Still to come, we're going to do our overview and comparison of the Dark Knights of Steel. I've got the original books to compare with the deluxe edition that put them all in one book. We're going to do that. We still have Scooby Apocalypse coming. We're going to do a overview and custom dust jacket for that. And at the end of the month, on Halloween, we're going to do our overview, comparison, and custom dust jacket for the Omnibus Deceased. All that and more in the coming weeks. Until then, I am the Bad Wolf. This is Badwolf Comics. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.